This isn't your typical marketing software ad because HubSpot ain't typical. It's marketing made easy. Turn one piece of content into assets for every channel, convert leads in no time, and get a crystal clear view of your campaign performance. HubSpot can do all that and get you results fast, like double your leads in 12 months fast. Yeah. See, told you this wasn't your typical software ad. Visit HubSpot.com/marketers to get started for free. Good morning, everyone. Today is Monday, February 24th. I'm Jon Weigell here with Martina, Bretous, and Maria Harib, and this is the Hustle Daily Show. OpenAI is set to launch GPT-5 soon. The New York Times is using AI to edit its content, and Humane's AI pin is no more. We had quite the week in AI, and we have even more than that to get to today. We're breaking it all down for you, as well as what we can expect from the AI landscape in the coming weeks. We'll get to all that, but before we do, let's give you the news in business and tech. To start us off today, the US FDA has stated that the shortage of Novo Nordisk's Ozempic and Wegovy is over. Coming off the drug shortage list, these weight loss drugs are yet again poised to make an impact on American consumers, so much that stock for the dupe maker Hims and Hers already plummeted 20% on Friday. Next, over to entertainment. YouTuber Mr. Beast has been making the rounds on interview shows, including My First Million. In one of his latest chats, he revealed that his Amazon show, Beast Games, lost him tens of millions of dollars, although it was a top performer on Prime Video. Just the sets, for context, alone on the first 2 episodes cost him $29 million. Insane. From there, we're going to the real estate market. If you're thinking of buying a house, now may not actually be the worst time for that. According to real estate brokerage firm Redfin, new listings increased in January by almost 5%. That's way more houses versus 2024. And the average home is now selling for 2% less than the listed price. So maybe get that deal. Not in New York, but anywhere else probably. And moving into tech, on Friday, Norwegian robotics company 1X debuted its new home robot called Neo Gamma. Great robot name. They previously released Neo Beta in August and have since made some tweaks. Neo Gamma is a bipedal robot ready for home testing, and it can apparently just do all your chores. No price has been listed yet, but expected to cost 2 arms and 2 legs, respectively. And finally, you know how Meta laid off a bunch of employees this year so far? Well, it's easy to see where that money is going. Along with the billions spent on AI data centers, the company is also now offering bonuses of up to 200% of top executive salaries, which is one way to spend your money. Okay, on to the main story today. As mentioned above, today we have Martina back on with Maria from the Mindstream newsletter to dive into the latest AI news. Take it away, y'all.
Hi, Maria. Welcome.
Hi. How have you been?
I've been great. How are you?
Same. I just moved to the UK like a few weeks ago, and everything has been peachy.
That's very exciting. We've been talking about the UK recently, so I guess you're closer to the action a little bit.
Yeah, technically speaking, I'm a bit closer now than I was in my home country, for sure.
Yeah. So this week, we're actually doing another roundup because there's a ton to cover when it comes to AI.
Oh, yeah.
And I want to start with AI hardware because that's something that we haven't covered in a while.
Mm-hmm.
So Humane, which was the startup that drew up so much buzz last year around their AI pin, they reportedly had gotten $230 million in investments, and they've now discontinued their AI pin. We know that they had gotten these scathing reviews, notably from a really popular YouTuber. And now they've sold the software, and anyone who bought the pin outside of this 90-day window is not going to get their $700 refund.
Yeah.
Which is interesting because I'm sure that most people who bought it early on, right after the launch, rather than now when the kind of hype around it has died down.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to hear from you. Why do you think it didn't work? Is it a sign that the world just isn't ready for AI wearables?
Well, when it comes to Humane, this is the gadget that like no one really asked for. It was the talk of the town for like over a year, and it used to vary around people actually like it, but like they're very skeptic, and then all of a sudden no one really likes it. So it was supposed to be the next gen wearable. It was like a smart assistant on the go, but instead it kind of flopped harder than any bad TikTok trend. So apparently the battery life was trash and the voice commands were very clunky. And honestly, most people aren't really ready, I think, to wear AI on their chest, like some kind of like a futuristic badge. That's what I'm presuming. So the tech just wasn't there yet. People needed more time. And more importantly, people didn't really want it. There's no demand on it. Like you'd wear a ring, and you'd wear a watch. You'd wear a lot of other stuff. We have an Apple Watch and we have the ring from Samsung and we have a lot of stuff out there, but maybe they didn't really want this. So I don't think this means AI wearables are dead forever, but it's more like a very bad execution plus kind of like a no clear need. We'll probably see a smaller attempts in the future, just maybe not anytime soon. And now that HP bought it, so there's going to be like a whole uprooting and a bit of updates on that. So yeah, we'll just see what HP is going to do with that.
Right. That'll be pretty interesting. I like how you put it. A mix of there not being a demand and a poor execution. And that's just going to give you a bad product at the end of the day, regardless of the hype around AI.
Yeah, exactly.
So moving on to other launches, Amazon is expected to make a lot of upgrades to its voice assistant, Alexa, but that's been delayed. Now, what are some features that we can expect from this release?
So Alexa's big AI glow up was supposed to make her a bit less like your basic voice assistant and more like a personal AI butler who actually remembers stuff that you needed to remember. So imagine saying, okay, Alexa, remind me of that recipe I mentioned last week. And she actually does, So we were also expecting better context and understanding and the smoother, smart home controls, sort of stuff like that. So she's finally understanding when you say, like, turn off the lights, but like leave the kitchen on and stuff. When it comes to the delay, honestly, Amazon is probably trying to avoid releasing a half-baked update. So that makes people say, Alexa, why are you broken now? Better to wait to then rush an update that turns every smart home command into a guessing game. So I think that they're going to wait on that. But yeah, I think they're up to really good stuff. And home automation is the future, honestly. We've seen it in Cartoon Network when we were kids. It's happening now and it's happening as we speak. So yeah.
That's very funny. That makes me think of Smart House. When I was a kid, I believe the movie was on Disney Channel. You had this woman who was essentially an Alexa personified.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the movie, she kind of loses control and wreaks havoc on the house. But the concept of it was so interesting and a little bit terrifying.
Yeah.
So it's pretty funny that you mentioned like home automation because we've seen it in cartoons in this kind of futuristic sense, but now we're seeing it really happen in our homes.
Yeah.
So I'm excited about the updates that you're mentioning from Amazon. We'll have to look out for it.
Definitely.
Now, moving over to OpenAI, who of course is always in the news, they're reportedly releasing GPT-5 soon.
Mm-hmm.
What should we be expecting from them?
So if you thought ChatGPT was really smart, now we have to wait. OpenAI have always been like this kind of new kid on the block, but kind of with all the technology humanly possible. They've gathered up some huge amount of investment and they've been giving us nothing but really good product. And the idea that sometimes there's a bit of error and sometimes there's a bit of glitching, but overall it's the highest performing chatbot on the internet. So it's kind of hyping this up as their biggest leap yet. It's supposed to handle reasoning way better and actually understand more complex instructions. So it's like connecting dots across conversations instead of just answering one question at a time, which is what we've gathered. So people are saying this could be OpenAI's big move towards what they call artificial general intelligence, or AGI. I think people have been hearing that term pretty often. Mm-hmm. And basically it's like upgrading from a pretty smart chatbot to something that can start really like thinking things through, without accidentally suggesting weird recipes or giving you outdated info. So it's going to be giving you info, that happened literally like seconds ago if it needs to be. So the release is expected, I think, around May 2025. So probably showing up during Microsoft's big build conference. And with Microsoft backing OpenAI, Microsoft, it goes huge. So this is what's going to be expecting from them.
Now, speaking of OpenAI, we know that Mira Murati, who's OpenAI's former CTO, she launched her own startup. She left OpenAI and started her own thing. What's it all about? Are they going to be a competitor to OpenAI?
So Mira Murati, when she said I'm out and then immediately flipped the script with her own startup, thinking machines is going to be probably really huge. Knowing what she's been in OpenAI, I think it's going to be huge. But I think instead of trying to kind of go directly at OpenAI, she's doing something a bit different. It's all about making AI more customizable and more flexible for everyone, not just like tech bros from Silicon Valley. She's pulled together a dream team, which includes some ex-OpenAI engineers. If OpenAI is Apple, Murati is trying to build the Android of AI. It's more open, more accessible, and less kind of locked down.
That's really interesting. I like that comparison and that visual.
Yeah.
So last week, I actually spoke to Matt Village, your colleague, about OpenAI launching deep research. And since then, we've had a few competitors launch their own, of course. They started the trend there. Now, the latest is Perplexity, the AI-powered search engine. How does theirs match up to OpenAI's? What are people saying about it?
So, in my opinion, I think Perplexity is definitely trying to crash OpenAI's party with their own research platform. If OpenAI's deep research feels like a super exclusive sort of VIP lounge, Perplexity is more like, hey, everyone, hi, let's figure this out together kind of thing. So they're very big on transparency and collaboration. And what makes them feel like a cool indie brand going up against OpenAI's polished mainstream approach. Perplexity is the underdog to an extent. So for researchers who want to actually build with AI in a more of an open space, I think Perplexity might be the place to be. So, yeah.
Very interesting. I like that take. So for this last news story, we're talking about newsrooms. The New York Times has now instructed its staff, or essentially given them the all clear to use AI to edit their content. Can you break down what considerations we should keep in mind for AI-assisted newsrooms, since it's looking like the trend?
Right. So I think that when it comes to content and AI, I think everything needs to go hand in hand. That's my fair opinion when it comes to this. Obviously, it's going to help a lot of journalists out there. But I think that also we need to kind of keep watch over everything, because here's where things get a bit dicey. Last year, the New York Times filed a lawsuit against, I think it was Microsoft and OpenAI. And this year, everything has flipped. It's like they're using AI to speed up editing and make workflows more efficient. And so it's getting faster, fact-checking, cleaner edits, fewer typos. Sounds like an awesome win, but there's always a catch. There's nothing really complete out there. There's nothing really perfect. So how much control do we really want to give AI over storytelling? The idea of journalism is having a sort of perspective. The journalist that is giving you what you want to hear with their own kind of twist to everything. So journalism isn't just about facts. It's about the human touch, the perspective, the nuance. If AI starts tweaking headlines or cutting down stories for efficiency, are we going to lose the heart of the news? Is it going to be bad? To an extent, there's like a 50-50 kind of thing. Like it's a double-edged sword, in my opinion. But we need to keep watch. And what happens when AI, with all its baked-in biases, starts unintentionally shaping narratives? We have to keep watch on that. Yeah.
Yeah, you brought up a lot of really interesting points there. That's something that we're definitely going to have to keep watch on. Well, that's a good place to end. Thank you so much, Maria.
Of course. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, see you next time.
See ya.
All right, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning into the Hustle Daily Show. We're a proud part of the HubSpot Podcast Network. Our editor is Robert Hartwig. Our executive producer is Darren Clark. We've got a lot more tech and business coverage in our newsletter. If you're not subscribed, go sign up at thehustle.co/email and follow us on Instagram at The Hustle Daily. See you tomorrow.
New year, new resolutions. And this year on the Best Idea Yet podcast, we're revealing the untold origin stories of the products you're obsessed with. And we promise you have never heard these before.
Ever wonder how the iconic Reese's peanut butter cup was invented? Because it was by accident. H.B. Reese, a former frog salesman,
True story,
stumbled upon the idea after accidentally burning a batch of peanuts.
Classic.
Proving that sometimes our best ideas arise from what seem like our biggest mistakes.
And Jack, did you know there's a scientific explanation why humans crave that surprising combo of peanut butter and chocolate?
I didn't, but it sounds delicious.
It is delicious.
So, if you're looking to get inspired and creative this year, tune in to the Best Idea Yet. You can find us on the Wondery app or wherever you get your podcasts.
And if you're looking for more podcasts to help you start this year off right, check out New Year, New Mindset on the Wondery app. Who knows? Your next great idea could be an accident that you burned. This is Nick.
And this is Jack.
And we'll see you on the best idea yet.